I just remembered I have to walk down the post office. Like this is my life right now because I probably would have been excited about it anyway, but I really needed something today. I got to tell you. I got my notification from the post office cuz nothing has come since those watches came that Brian got. I know, just somewhere. Why'd you buy the watches, Brian? For the fitness program and they're like cute and they match. All right, so if you could think about calling me, please. So I got my notification from the post office and it's from Project Bread. And I was just like, oh my God, it's Project Bread. And I'm like, I gotta wait till I go down there and see what it is before I get too excited. But she was supposed to get back to me in 3 months because by when I talked to her, I my social security hadn't been denied yet. And you just go, yeah, some of these people, some of them is they're still in a denial. You just go, I've applied for housing for the first time in 2016. And now what they're actually saying to me, I'm not saying I spoke with Christina and she said this, it's Adam Housing. I'm not saying that. No. The Coalition for the Homeless, when I talked to the Florida lawyer, this is actually what they're doing now. It doesn't even matter all that time. That is what they're so sick. Absolutely so sick. It doesn't all the stuff that happened to me in Florida. So you do something to a person and just wait a period of time and then they act like that doesn't matter. I just am like, are you kidding me? My hand to God, that's what that lawyer was saying. But like, she would have still taken my $5,500, which I don't have. You just go, you're a female and don't just take my case. Whoa. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. You just go, so if a person, they're usually females in terms of alimony, mine is a house, everything. They just threaten their wife, put them on it. They walk them right to the gate and put them on a one-way airline ticket to another part of the country, destitute, and leave them there. And if they can't get a phone and can't get an income and can't get housing, and you let enough time go by, they can never come after you for alimony. That is what that lawyer was saying to me. She goes, well, 13 years, but I just explained to you what's going on, though. And she understood it. She goes, oh, wow, that's different. But because I'm like, he flew me on a one-way airline ticket and he had already stopped putting money in a joint checking account. I was a homemaker. I didn't, I know you just go, oh my God, it's scary. It's absolutely scary that people would do that to people, right? You just go, oh, this came up today, Brian. I just think that your cash should be on my card anyway. It was probably a mistake handing you that card. You're probably better off cutting it up and putting it in the trash. I swear to God, I really think you should. And then eventually just get another one because if you're using, people could attack you for that. You know your friends. And you're just going to pour it down your throat. You can't have money in your pocket. Only you know what you did with the $40 is what I'm saying. And you wanted that money in the account for a reason. I just think you were making up excuses to talk to me. But you need to start having better communication with me. Like, I know there's a lot of, I guess, a lot of things about me that you would like to change, but you got to have better communication with me. I know it's like your first adult relationship, right? It's just things like that are very hurtful. It's worse than like something's going on and we say mean things. It's worse because it's like nothing's going on. And then all of a sudden, no, it's not really about if you can't stop doing that, it's going to be a problem. But, right. That's why I got to have a diagnosis and stuff. It helps you and helps me. And then a doctor would know if over time with medication and therapy that it's not going to be like that. Because I think when you don't have a diagnosis, I know that I have issues. I know I have PTSD. It doesn't always control me, but it's like you just something you learn because I was actually getting better with you where I wasn't getting as mad and upset because I noticed that if I don't react to it, you don't like escalate. Right. Um, and I wasn't keeping up with my walking. Like, I'm not a perfect person either. There was some issue with too much marijuana. You were doing the walking program, which was awesome. That's why I'm so upset that this has happened. Um, I just feel like you're throwing it all away in terms of our relationship. Um, yeah, like it's been a week and it's been since Thursday night, and I'm worried because I was ready to drive out there for that appointment and go to that with you. The eye appointment is secondary because you have eyeglasses. But yeah, like I'm worried about it. I mean, unless for some bizarre reason you got another provider in that amount of time, or you decided to stop taking the Adderall. I don't know. Uh, I know because you go, if he's drinking, this is what I told Jerry. He doesn't take his medication when he's drinking. So missing that appointment is almost like a neon sign that you're drinking. So you know it's inevitable in terms of someone has got to like lock you up for 3 days. You know it because you know how you are. Right? Like, please, from me, it's going to cause a problem. It'll be like before July 3rd because it's just part of your addiction. You can't help it. Yeah, you can't help it, and that's not gonna help the relationship because you're gonna get mad like you do about the pot, and you know that I don't wanna give you money. I mean, what is that? Then I'm an enabler. It's just it's all in the psyche too because you know I'm the person who doesn't support that, and that's just and so I'm a safe person for you to be with. We have had a couple of knockdown, drag out fights over this marijuana stuff. I don't know if he thinks it's about money. Right, it's not. It's not because I could see that he was using more and more of it, and it's probably got something to do with his behavior. I should call it. I know, like he's a child. Mine, stress, too much coffee, and not taking my walks, and obviously not enough couple time. Because it's just the most frustrating thing. Where there's nothing that can be done until we'd be better off in a tent outside in terms of that. Yeah, just to me, it's kind of insane to live in a shelter like that. I mean, go into a shelter maybe for a night or 2 so you can bathe and shave, but I mean, living in shelters like that long term as a married couple, I can't see doing that. That Dave guy that was supposed to be my caseworker that never contacts me, there goes the cops again. I don't think they do anything they say, Your Honor, but he said, uh, unless you kind of view it like I do, I'm getting ready for court. He doesn't actually openly discuss it with me, but um he the first meeting he had with us, Your Honor, because our caseworker got fired, the one that didn't show up for court when she told you, I'm pretty sure she told you she was going to be with me at my court cases, and she never showed up again. They fired her. She was actively trying to separate Brian and I. She thought that he should go into a halfway house out of detox, a 37-year-old man who wants to get married. Yeah, just he's already done that. How is that gonna function as a married couple? Like, it's a complete insanity in their heads where our lives don't matter, like, we're mentally incompetent because 'cause we're homeless. It's just sickening, absolutely sickening. There's a lot of people in disabled housing that are married, right? So, anyways, it's gonna build more frustration, I'm sure. People that are married and they're hot for each other and they have no way to do it. Um What was the other thing about court? Oh, we met with the new one in the first appointment. He goes, "Oh, well, you need a voucher. You're a married couple." And then he said, "It's just we get them from Quincy and Milton. It's just a matter of some of them coming in." And then they had two employees that were both new, Your Honor, and I feel that they purposely attacked Brian. I honest to God do. As weird as it sounds, one the guy's name was Brian and his wife was named Ashley, I believe, and Brian started working there first, and then she started working there. And when that Brian guy first started working there, he seemed wicked tweaky and stuff, and then he began to calm down. And then she started working there, and I noticed it. It like they must have a wickedly sick relationship, but that's their business. Again, I'm not into separating couples because he probably doesn't care. That's their business as adults. But he literally couldn't even work. Every time I saw her, she was just asking people where Brian was. So I don't know if something went on in the machinery when people were talking about Mary and Brian. Okay, that she is so sick with her illness of control that she thought that it was her, Brian, and me. I'm not kidding you, because it was just she was always mean to me as soon as she started working there, which is weird because the employees talk to all the people that live there. So that's my assessment of what happened there. And then after they attacked Brian, they literally thought I was going to stay in the shelter, Your Honor. And Brian had no SNAP card and no money, and it's Quincy. Like they were hell bent to keep us separated and get him using again. Okay, so um after that happened, I was told by someone who's still there that they left about 2 weeks later. So that should be highly suspect and problematic. And after I left with Brian, I explained this too. The was to suspend me when his wife was like very aggressive with me in the dorm. Right? You just go, I'm not staying in this place. And you actually thought I would stay here without my husband? You're high. Okay, so Brian, right? Like, where the heck are you? You're supposed to have that attitude too. Like, this is kind of insane. I've got to get my wife back. This is like, this isn't fun anymore. Wherever it is he's hanging out, if he didn't already go for the 3 day, just, yeah, this is not fun anymore. It's not like it used to be. That would be like an awesome thing. I was hoping that it would be kind of go like that for him. It's a slip. I had a year sober off of alcohol, and I drank one night and didn't drink again until the summer of 2023. Yeah, like don't underestimate your too much, your 60 plus days. It's probably different than the other times because you're getting older and you have like something to live for. Remember that? You make me want to live again. Right. You just stop doing it. But if you have to do those 3 days, then do the 3 days. And like I said, I don't know what's going on. I know I'm all over the place because I do have a concern, like if a hospital can they do it if he puts himself in and doesn't sign the voluntary? Because that's how he'd know. If he put himself in and doesn't sign the voluntary and they won't let him use a phone, then you fucking leave after 3 days. That's your clue right there. Absolutely. You just go, wait a minute, wait a minute. You're telling me that I can't use a telephone at all in here? I didn't know that when I came in here. Yeah, well, what will happen is right, what will happen is you probably still have to stay the 3 days because what'd you say? Danger to others, danger to self. Yeah. Don't flip out in there. Don't flip out in there. Like anybody doing that, be like, if I can't use the phone, can you call and then whoever you want them to call? Yeah, if I can't use a phone, they need to know I'm in here because now I'm not communicating with them. And I was just on the street drinking. Like, say it's Brian. Oh, who's this? Oh, it's Jerry. Hold on. Hello? Yeah. What's going on?